to order. Normally, we have some public comments in the beginning of the meeting. Kelly, has anyone signed up for public comments? If that's the case, we'll move into our business. I'll ask City Council Member Chris Jernigan if he'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If you'll please rise.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll call on the Reverend Ryan Sebastian, a youth pastor at Summit Church, to please give us an invocation.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, thank you for this day, the opportunity that our leaders can come together. And Lord, I just ask you to please be with each one of these men and women as they're serving our community and leading our community, give them wisdom in this difficult time. Understand that you're in control, Lord, and bless them, Lord, and during this time, and bless us all as we're learning how to best serve our community and to serve you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Ryan. Next, I'd like to introduce our City Council. To my far right, we have Wendy Cato, Mayor Pro Tem, Chris Jernigan, City Council. Our City Attorney's out of town tonight, will not be with us. I'm Ronnie Thompson, your Mayor. Sally Sandy, our City Manager. Butch McSwain, City Council. Chris Hawkins, City Council. Kelly Russell is our Recording Secretary. And Danette Stillman Bridges and Ernest Williams IV will be interpreting for the deaf community. We have several retirement resolutions to read. I'd like to read those first. Our first resolution is honoring David Abernathy. Whereas David Abernathy was employed by the City of Morganton as a laborer one in the Public Works Department on October 25th, 1993, promoted to street marking technician on November 2nd, 1995, changed to sign technician on October 31st, 1996, and reclassified as a traffic sign technician on July 1st, 2004. And whereas David W. Abernathy has faithfully served and given of his time and efforts for the benefit of the citizens of Morganton for 29 years and 4 months, and whereas David Abernathy retired from the City of Morganton as a traffic sign technician on January 1st, 2022, and whereas the Morganton City Council wishes to officially recognize the contributions of David Abernathy and express our appreciation for a job well done, now therefore be it resolved by the City of Morganton that the Mayor present this resolution to David Abernathy, adopted this third day of January 2022. Ronnie Thompson, Mayor. Sally Sandy, City Clerk. Is David with us tonight?
He is not.
Okay. Next, we have a resolution honoring a retired city employee.
Do you want to make a motion to accept the other one?
Yes. Do I have a motion to accept that recommendation?
So moved.
Have a second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you, Sally. Second, we have a resolution honoring a retiring city employee, Alan L. Clark. Whereas Alan L. Clark was employed by the City of Morganton as a lineman one in the electric department of November 30th, 1998, reclassified as line technician one on July 1st, 2004, promoted to line technician 2 on January the 8th, 2005, promoted to line technician 3 on December 1st, 2014, and whereas Alan Clark has faithfully served and given of his time and efforts for the benefit of the citizens of the City of Morganton for 24 years and 7 months, and whereas Alan Clark retired from the City of Morganton as a line technician 3 on January the 1st, 2022, and whereas the Morganton City Council wishes to officially recognize the contributions of Alan Clark and express their appreciation for a job well done, now therefore be it resolved by the City of Morganton, the Mayor present this resolution to Alan Clark, adopted this third day of January 2022. Ronnie Thompson, Mayor. Sally Sandy, City Clerk. Do I have a motion to accept this resolution?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and I'm going to ask Chris Hawkins if he'll present that, and ask Alan Clark to come forward, please. Alan, you going to meet him over there.
Did you want to have a few words to say?
Get that.
Chief. Al, when I saw that you were retiring, it made me think, it seems like you and I were in high school about the same time, and here you are retiring, and I'm still working, and I'm wondering where I went wrong, and what path I took that I should have taken differently. But seriously, on behalf of City Council and all the citizens of Morganton, thank you so much for over 24 years of excellent service to the city, and I wish you all the very best in your retirement. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Alan, would you like to say a few words, please?
Just like to thank the city for the many years of my employment. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have another retiring city employee, Susan Lale, and I don't think Susan is here, is she?
She is not.
Okay. I'd like to read that resolution honoring Susan P. Lale. Whereas Susan Lale was employed by the City of Morganton as a customer service specialist in the Compass Cable Department on July 8, 2005, promoted to lead customer service specialist on August 31st, 2019, and whereas Susan Lale has faithfully served and given of her time and efforts for the benefits of the citizens of the City of Morganton and the state of North Carolina for 18 years and 4 months, and whereas Susan Lale retired from the City of Morganton as a lead customer service specialist on January 1st, 2022, and whereas the Morganton City Council wishes to officially recognize the contributions of Susan P. Lale and express their appreciation for a job well done, now therefore be it resolved by the City of Morganton that the mayor present this resolution to Susan Lale, adopted this third day of January 2022. Ronnie Thompson, Mayor, Sally Selney, City Clerk, and that will be presented to her later.
Yes. And we need a motion.
Need a motion to accept that resolution.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
I think we got to go back. I think we skipped Alan.
Yes.
We did.
Get out.
Okay. We have another retiring city employee, Alan P. Davis. This resolution says, whereas Alan P. Davis was employed by the City of Morganton as a fire engineer in the Public Safety Department on December 18th, 2000, changed to fire engineer on September 18th, 2001, and whereas Alan P. Davis has faithfully served and given of his time and efforts for the benefit of the citizens of the City of Morganton for 23 years and 5 months, and whereas Alan Davis retired from the City of Morganton as a Fire Engineer 1 on January 1st, 2022, whereas the Morganton City Council wishes to officially recognize the contributions of Alan Davis and express their appreciation for a job well done, now therefore be it resolved by the City of Morganton that the mayor present this resolution to Alan Davis, adopted this third day of January 2022. Ronnie Thompson, Mayor, Sally Sandy, City Clerk. Do I have a motion to accept this resolution?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I'll ask Alan to come forward and ask Wendy if she will present this. Alan brought help with him.
Alan, for all of your years of service, we thank you so much. Chris Hawkins gave the check first, but I'm going to give you your check last, okay? But we are honored to give you this award, and again, thank you for all of your service. Being in the fire department is not the easiest job in the whole world, but you've always been there to serve. And he has told me that what he's going to do next is take care of this little one, that she spends lots of time at his house, and so he's going to be more exhausted here than he ever was at the fire department, for sure. So on behalf of the city, thank you for your service.
Alan, would you like to say something?
I just want to say, guys, my friends, my bosses, my supervisors, I worked with y'all a long time. This one here, I worked with him at Dana. So Lieutenant knows exactly what I went through at Dana, and he knows what I went through here. And just want to let you guys know I appreciate everything you guys done and being there when I needed you. And I'll be seeing you. I'm not gone, but I'll be seeing you.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you, Alan.
We have another retiring city employee, Leo Watson. I'd like to read that resolution.
Got the second fire. Another motion on this.
Oh,
Oh, his fire helmet.
His
Oh,
helmet.
forgot that. Thank you. Declare it surplus.
I need a motion to declare that fire helmet surplus property.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Kelly, thank you so much.
It's a good thing because he already has it.
Yes. Okay. Resolution honoring Leo Watson. Whereas Leo Watson was employed by the city of Morganton as a meter technician in the electric department on December 23rd, 1998, transferred to the cable department as an installer technician on September 11th, 2000, changed to head-end technician on July 1st, 2004, transferred to the electric department as a meter technician on January 8th, 2007, promoted to electrician on January the 6th, 2012, and promoted to a technical services supervisor on May 6, 2013. And whereas Leo Watson has faithfully served and given of his time and efforts for the benefit of the citizens of the city of Morganton for 24 years and 5 months, and whereas Leo Watson retired from the city of Morganton as a technical services supervisor on January 1st, 2022, and whereas the Morganton City Council wishes to officially recognize the contributions of Leo Watson and express their appreciation for a job well done, now therefore be it resolved by the city of Morganton that the mayor present this resolution to Leo Watson, adopted this third day of January 2022. Ronnie Thompson, Mayor, Sally Sandy, City Clerk, to have a motion to accept this resolution.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I'm going to call on Butch McSwain if he'll make that presentation.
Leo, knowing you as long as I have, I'm delighted to be presenting this to you as an honor. We do thank you very much on behalf of our city council and the citizens of Morganton for all that you've done. All those late night call outs for rain and sleet and all that kind of stuff that you've been through. We do thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's also been a thrill to watch your kids grow up.
Yeah.
Leo, would you say a few words?
It's been an honor to work at the city. It has. And I'll still be around most of the places, I'm not going to not answer my phone because I'll always answer my phone for what it is. But I'm going to take on a new adventure and see if I can't do a little start my own business with my son. So that's going to be a thing going in the future. So if you guys need some work, you can always call.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Leo.
Leo.
Before I do anything else, I would like to inform the public at home, this is actually the first full HD broadcast of the Morganton City Council. We are real pleased with that. Our cable system is, and wanted to announce that this is full HD, first broadcast of live City Council. So that's really an honor for the city of Morganton. We have two service pins to be presented tonight. First will be Brad Buchanan, a Lieutenant Second in Public Safety for 20 years. Brad, if you'll come to the podium, we'd like for you to come to the podium. And we don't have your pen in hand, but we'd like for you to say a word for 20 years, helping keep the law in Morganton, please.
If we don't give you your pen, we figure you'll stay at least another year or two.
Beg pardon? Sorry about that. It's an honor and a privilege to be here. It's 20 years, I don't know where it's gone. It flies by. If you get the opportunity to come by, we used to have a ride-along program, and we've kind of done away with that COVID. It may be opening up soon. I would urge you to come ride with some of the guys and girls, take advantage of the service that they provide. So, thank you all.
Congratulations. Thank you for 20
you,
years.
Brad.
Thank you.
Captain Bowman has 20 years. He was not able to be with us tonight, so we do appreciate the job that Keith Bowman does as captain for our public safety officer. Next on our agenda is a consent agenda. Sally, I believe we have 3 items. Could you cover those?
We do, and that includes these items for those of you viewing at home. Would ask that the council consider adopting those in one motion. We have minutes from the December 6th meeting, tax releases in the amount of $598.57, and then consideration of the updated pay ranges based on our 1/3 of our employees' review. The review that we do, 1/3 of the employees we do 1/3 each year.
Do any members of council wish to have any items removed from the consent agenda? not, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Under new business, we have a consideration of approval of a memorandum of understanding with the Industrial Commons regarding use and application of grant funds. Sally?
We are very excited about this, and we do have some visitors with us tonight from the Industrial Commons, and they're going to share a little bit about their project. The city has partnered with the Industrial Commons in seeking some grant funding from the Dogwood Trust, and we've been successful in getting that. And we're going to be receiving $446,125 toward help with the infrastructure that's going to support a workforce housing project that the Industrial Commons is taking the lead on Church Street. And so with that, we'll introduce Aaron is going to come up, and Sarah also, Sarah Chester and Aaron Kaiser, to share with us a little bit about the project.
Thank you all so much for having us. We're very excited. I think Chad's pulling up a PowerPoint. There we go. We're the nerdy extra achiever kids that bring PowerPoints. As Sally said, I'm Sarah Chester, and I'm one of the co-executive directors of the Industrial Commons.
My name is Erin Kaiser, and I'm taking the lead on this particular project.
So we are here, as Sally said, to talk about this exciting grant that we have through the city from the Dogwood Health Trust, which is to install infrastructure in a 10-acre parcel of land on White and Dixon Street. And while we had the opportunity to be here, we wanted to talk a little bit about the Industrial Commons. We are a 501c3 nonprofit. We were formed in 2015, but we're doing a lot of really neat, interesting work in the community. Primarily, we're starting and incubating for-profit businesses, and they're worker-owned businesses, so they're sold eventually to the workers. And then we also do a lot of training and education. So we're doing skilled training like our sewing class. We're doing other management training and financial training to really make both workers successful and the businesses that we're starting successful as well. We really had no interest in getting in housing until we were encouraged by a lot of other people in the community to do so. And, you know, everybody knows in the community that finding an affordable place to live right now is very difficult. And so we often look around at the problems that are in our community and try to think how we can help play a role in solving them. So a lot of the properties that we see, like the 10-acre tract that this grant involves, and also the 30-acre tract below it on Fleming Drive, they're both former furniture factories, and so they have some environmental issues, they have some cleanup issues. So we feel like as a 501c3, that's where we can play a role as being an intermediary to pull down extra resources to develop those properties, because a normal developer probably can't make something like that cash flow, but we are able to do that and bring it back into a productive use for the city, which we're really excited to help do.
Yeah, and to Sarah's point, I think we find ourselves in a really unique position. So first thing we're really doing is digging into kind of what the particular models might be of best use to us to ensure kind of that we're developing workforce housing that's going to work for our community for a long time. So the models we're exploring currently are deed-restricted homes, a land trust, and or a limited equity cooperative. We're really taking the time before we kind of get started on this development to talk to experts and look at the other models that have been successful across the country and see what's going to really work best for us. When we're looking at each of these models, we're really focused on 4 main goals, and that's creating affordable workforce housing. It's not for the lowest income people, and it's not for the highest earners, but really for like the people that are making up the working class in our communities. I think we're really all excited about the ideas of growing in our community, for being prepared for that growth. And right now, we don't really have the housing stock to support that, so being sure that we are working towards that. For us, building equity for the homeowners is really important. We want to make sure that these are meaningful ways for people to create wealth for themselves. And we want to make sure that that wealth is really rooted locally in our community for the long term. So the planning department worked really closely with us. We're super grateful for their help in coming up with this site plan. This is still in draft form, but this is something we've worked with, kind of looking at the zoning and thinking about just that particular plot. So if you take a look, currently you can see where Church Street and White Street are and Dixon Street are labeled. Those are kind of the edges of the property. And those will all remain. And so this infrastructure grant will really be focused on developing White Street that cuts through the development, and then also the alleys that would kind of abut the back of the homes. So looking at this site plan, we're looking at a mix of single-family homes and townhouses. So that's the larger kind of plots there along the outside, closer to the railroad. And then closer to White Street, Dixon Street, we're looking at kind of townhomes, just so we can have a little more density there and create more affordable units. I think the other thing we're really excited about is there still will be, along the railroad, there's a bit of a buffer, so there's an opportunity there, I think, for us to work with the city, maybe in the long term, develop some connectivity paths. I know we're excited about all the stuff that's happening at the School of Science and Math, connecting that down to our campus, which is about 30 acres just adjacent to this. Just on the other side of the railroad is where our campus will be. So it's a big project. We're excited to undertake it, and we're excited to work with the city to do so. Thanks, y'all. And if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
According to the plat, we see that's about 37 units, could be 37 units.
Yeah, exactly. So part of that is working with engineers. We're working with West Consultants to kind of figure out exactly where those lines can be drawn and what's going to work with the particular parcel in the land right there. There are some issues with like the grading and whatnot, but we're working closely with them, so that's why there's a little bit of a buffer and a range.
And you've already received the money from the Dogwood Foundation, correct?
Yep, so that got awarded to the city, so, yeah.
Yeah, so we hold the money, and that's the reason for the memorandum of understanding tonight, the kickoff, I guess, of our next phase of planning for the project. And what you have before you tonight is a draft form. We have a few tweaks to make to that, but in substance, it will be exactly what is before you, and it sets out how we'll go through the project, how they will account for funds that get spent. It's a reimbursement type basis, and then submit to us so that we can supply the grant funds, and then we meet all the requirements for our auditors and everyone in the process. So the city's excited. It's one of the things, I talk about this a lot here because it's true. We do our best work when we work with others, and we all bring our best skill sets to the table, and this is one of those examples, I think.
Any members of council have any questions, comments?
The application process and everything will come through to the industrial commons.
Yeah.
And the process will, so when do you expect some of the first phase to be built?
We're hoping that the infrastructure will get kicked off this year, so then we'll have all that done. Our goal is for the end of the year. We'll see how that goes. I mean, there's a lot of, as we know, construction challenges in the times of COVID, but that is our goal, to have the infrastructure ready to go by the end of the year.
Excellent.
Sarah, Aaron, thank you so much for being here. What's the wish of council?
I'd be
Motion
delighted to enter the motion to approve a memorandum of understanding with the Industrial Commons for the use of Dogwood Foundation grant funds for the development of affordable housing in Morganton, and to authorize the mayor and city manager to execute and issue these agreements on behalf of the city, together with additional authority to make such alterations, technical amendments, and changes that may be necessary to implement this agreement.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Motion passes. Sarah, thank you so much.
Pleasure,
Thank you.
Next on our agenda is a consideration of a contract with Western Piedmont Council of Governments to administer a building reuse grant and associated amendments for Project Umbrella. Sally?
Yes, so last month, you authorized us to apply for a state building reuse grant. We now know that Project Umbrella is E.J. Victor, and they are looking at an expansion and a growth opportunity there. The grant has been awarded, and so this is setting up the project budget ordinance for that grant, and then also authorizing through contract Western Piedmont Council of Governments to administer that. The administration cost, which is required to be paid by local funding, is $12,000 for the $240,000 grant, and the $12,000 will be shared equally between Morganton and Burke County.
What's the wish of council? I'm going to need two motions, actually. What's the wish of council?
Make a motion to approve the contract with Western Piedmont Council of Governments to administer the E.J. Victor Building Reuse Grant.
I have a motion to have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Sally, I'd like to ask, this is going to be about 30 jobs, is that correct?
Yes.
So it'll generate 30 jobs, okay. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I need another motion, please.
Motion to approve the budget ordinance for $240,000 in grant funds and $12,000 in administration cost.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next is consideration of adoption of an ordinance concerning the disposal of human waste. I'll call on our planning director, Philip Luckady, please.
Mr. Mayor and members of council. So recently, city staff have been called out to address issues, particularly the code enforcement officer, to address multiple situations involving accumulation or disposal of human waste. And these situations, while in addition to their own unpleasantness, clearly pose a threat to health safety and public safety, public health and safety. The existing ordinances that we have do not seem to adequately address this issue. So the city attorney, working with the code enforcement officer, have come up with some amendments to our code and some new sections to our code to more adequately address this. These amendments and the proposal are relying substantially on ordinances from other cities that other cities have adopted for similar situations. Basically, the proposed ordinance would make it unlawful to dispose of any human waste except through appropriate sanitary facilities. It would add a section clarifying violations of chapter on general nuisances, that they are subject to the same civil penalties as provided for in the chapter on nuisances in general for property. What it would also do would, a person that's in violation of this ordinance would receive a citation. That citation could be written by a code enforcement officer, a public safety officer, a building inspector, or other enforcement officer as designated by the city manager. The citations, the first offense is a $50 fine. The second offense is a $100 fine, and then the third is a $300 fine, and then it's a $300 fine every day that situation exists.
Thank you, Philip. What is the wish of council?
I'll make a motion to adopt an ordinance adding new sections 8-6020 and 8-6021, and amending sections 8-1005F and 8-4002A of the Code of Ordinances concerning the regulation of disposal of human waste.
I have a motion to have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Philip, any questions for Philip? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Next on our agenda is approval of a construction contract for electrical work at Murphy's Farm. You have a handout that was left on your desk. I'll call on Sally.
So late-breaking information as we have put together bids for this project during the holidays. As noted in discussions earlier today, Murphy's Farm, the apartment complex over in the Broughton District off Enola Road, is progressing rapidly, I think is an accurate description. In these difficult times, they are moving forward and their pace is picking up. In order to supply them the infrastructure that we need, our pace also has to pick up. And our electric department has only so many resources, and so we need some outside help in order to meet the pace of this project. We sought bids to help us with some electric line work to happen over on the project. We received 3 bids. One was a no bid because the company already has too much work. One was a partial bid and non-responsive, and one was a full bid, but with per unit pricing that we feel like after review is in line with the pricing that is going on today. What we would ask is that you consider awarding a contract to Carl Grigg Electric and Supply out of Shelby. We have worked with them before for a total price not to exceed $30,000 because it's based on a unit price. So they will work and do as much until they hit the $30,000, and then we take over from there.
Okay. What's the wish of council?
Motion to approve a contract with Carl Grigg Electric and Supply Incorporated of Shelby, North Carolina, not to exceed $30,000 to perform the City of Morganton underground electrical installation project at Murphy's Farm.
I have a motion to have a second.
Second.
Have a second. Any questions? Sally, this is to get electric to Murphy's Farm, is that correct?
Within the development, in
Okay.
order to do the electricity within the development, and it's underground work, and it requires an awful lot of digging and a bit of hand digging, and it's a bit tedious. And obviously, we're in winter, now that it's finally turned winter, it seemed like summer the last couple of weeks. But we don't have enough resources to do a project of this size, the regular work that we have to do, and be readily available for a storm or any other event. And so we just need some extra help in getting this done. The contractor over there and the developers are hoping, and I hate to even say this out loud, but they really believe that by spring, that they're going to be able to turn over the first couple of buildings, and then they're going to start opening those up in the development very quickly after that. And so the city's doing everything that we can to meet those requirements and provide the utilities and infrastructure that they need.
Any other comments? If not, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. We have one final thing, consideration of appointments to boards and commissions. Sally?
Yes, so the Fireman's Relief Fund, we discussed these last month, and I tried to extinguish a couple of people who are very much still with us, thank goodness, and would ask that you consider a council reappointment of Mark Bradshaw and confirming the public safety reappointment of David Ferber. And in addition, next month, the council appointee of Jesse Paris and the public safety appointee of Israel Gibson will expire. Everyone is willing to continue serving, so we just ask you to do all four this month if you're comfortable doing that.
What's the wish of council?
I move to reappoint Mark Bradshaw and David Ferber to the Fireman's Relief Fund Board for terms to expire January 15th, 2023, and to reappoint Jesse Parrish and Israel Gibson for terms to expire on January 15th, 2024.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Sally, anything else to come before the board?
Yes, two things. So you have a 30-day notice of openings on the Morganton Housing Authority and in terms that are coming up for expiration, and those you will make at your February meeting unless you choose to go ahead. We have with us Brad Buchanan, who has been serving as the Morganton Public Safety appointment, and then the tenant appointment has been Judy Owensby. We are told that both are willing to continue serving on the board, so you can do that next month, or you can move ahead and do it now. It's totally up to you.
What's the wish of council?
I'll make a motion to reappoint Morganton Public Safety Lieutenant Brad Buchanan and Judy Owensby to the Morganton Housing Authority for another term.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Sally, anything else?
I do. I have one more thing, and then I'll be quiet.
No, you don't.
So in this last session of the General Assembly, we requested a change in our charter. So our charter, a long time ago, was written so that the city manager was automatically the city clerk. The reality is that Kelly Russell is really the acting city clerk and performs those functions. We did indeed get the General Assembly to pass a change in our charter that most other places have done as well, allowing the city manager to appoint a clerk in my place. And so tonight, I'm just letting you know that we got our legislation, and I am appointing Kelly Russell as the clerk. And so now she can have the title and the work. Those things go together. Very appreciative of that. And following that, Carolyn Richardson has served as the assistant clerk for a lot of times and fills in the paralegal to the city attorney, and would like to officially notify you that we are officially renaming Carolyn as the assistant city clerk.
Well, congratulations to Kelly.
Sure.
Anything else to come before the council?
Mr. Mayor, I'd just like to mention how great it's been to see that the Courthouse Square project is open and folks are out there enjoying that. Of course, the weather have brought a lot of folks out, but would like to invite all of our citizens to come and see it. It's lit up at night. It's beautiful. There's nice tables to come out and sit and have lunch and just sit and enjoy being outdoors and enjoy the new Courthouse Square.
Thank you, Chris.
It is beautiful, and we are nearing the end. There's a few more punch list items. So I've already got the question today about the bathrooms and why they're not open. They are not open because we are not quite finished with the project and need to go through the list and make sure that we've passed everything. But the grounds are open, and people are enjoying them already.
Hearing nothing else, we are adjourned.